What's going on, YouTube? What's going on? Well, Andre Ward, congratulations. Andre Ward is a phenomenal fighter. Andre Ward is an exceptional fighter, a rare type of fighter. Alright? This video is going to be entitled Andre Ward and Floyd Mayweather. Why? Because there's some things that a lot of people fail to mention, and a lot of people seem to forget. Andre Ward did an extraordinary job last night fighting Chad Dawson. Chad Dawson, he fought a bigger man that came down and he destroyed him. You understand? That was an exceptional job, using skill. Catching him with punches he couldn't see. Catching him straight in the chin. Beautiful punches. Knockdown after knockdown. Beautiful fight. That kid is an exceptional fighter. Well, the reason why I would call this video Andre Ward and Floyd Mayweather is because of this. You see, people have a lot of boxing fans have what you call a long-term memory problem. Okay? And they also, mostly black people. See, we have a problem, black people, that we don't like our own. When our own people do good, we love them at the moment. When they're doing something good, we love them at the moment. But after a while, we find a reason not to like them, because it's like there's something in us programmed some way to always not like one of ours. If they do something like anything that most other races would not care about, if one of their successful athletes did, we give a shit when we don't like ours. We start hating on them. Alright? Well, let's get back to the point. A few years ago, well, not a few years ago, but a while ago, there was a young boxer who was on top of the sport, who was beating everybody, and who decided to stop fighting. But there was a fighter who came along, who was dominating dominating that division that the other one was dominating, and everyone was talking how this fighter is afraid of him, how this fighter is afraid he won't fight him. All right, and the fighter who retired, who left, came back, and when he came back, he ended up fighting that fighter who everybody was giving praise to, who was knocking people out. What ended up happening was the fighter who was being praised was a bigger man than the other fighter. Was taller, was bigger, was hit harder. Well, what ended up happening was one of the biggest displays of boxing skills that I've seen, besides what happened last night. Knockdown after knockdown. People couldn't believe it. This man was supposed to be one of the top contenders. The top guy at that weight class was getting knocked down and knocked down and knocked down again. You understand? Until he was finished. Okay? Like Dawson said, I'm finished. Well, yeah, who I'm talking about is Floyd Mayweather. He did that. At the time, people were happy. They were celebrating this young athlete. Oh my God, I can't believe what he did to Castillo. That was Castillo, by the way, if you don't remember that. Oh, not Castillo. I mean, not Castillo. That was not Castillo. Excuse me for the mistake. That was not Castillo. That was Corrales. And at the time, everybody was praising him. My God, who's gonna beat this kid now? Look what he did to Corrales. Who's gonna want to fight him? And it's the same thing going on right now with Andre Ward. But what the difference is, there's a big difference. Most people don't realize it, but it's something that's built in us. We don't realize what it is, but it's something that's built in us, and it's a condition. The difference is like this. You see, I'm gonna take it back a little bit. You see, when back in the slavery days, when a slave master had a child, right, with a slave, okay? The slave master would treat that child better than he would you. He would put him in his attic. He would put him in his basement. He would feed him food from the table. He'd put him in charge of all the other slaves, right? This has nothing to do. This doesn't really have to do with race. But I'm just trying to give you a perspective of what's going on. It does have to do with race just a little bit. The thing is, what most people don't realize is Andre Ward is loved by everyone in boxing. Okay, he's loved by everyone in boxing. They'll never talk anything bad about him, no matter how, if he did, even if he did something wrong. They won't talk anything bad about Andre Ward. Do you know why they won't say anything bad? Because at first, Floyd Mayweather, he was not a bad guy. If you guys remember this, Floyd Mayweather wasn't a bad guy. He was a good kid. He answered all the questions. He was respectful. He didn't flaunt money and flash anything. He became a bad guy when he wasn't really getting his credit, where he wasn't really being allowed to fight the fights he wanted to fight, where nobody was really pushing his image out there. When he was young, when he was prime and ready, nobody was pushing his name out there like they're doing with Andre Ward. Nobody's celebrating him like they were doing with Andre Ward. Okay? What I was saying about the slave master was this. Andre Ward, as most people know, is a mixed child. His father is a white man. Okay? In most white people's views, yes, you know, there is the 1% blood thing rule. If you have black blood in you, you're black. Yeah. But in most white people's views, if your father is white, okay, most of the time that means that you're closer to them than you are to us. You understand? So Andre Ward is gonna get a lot of love in boxing because he's a mixed child. He's not fully black. The white media is gonna love him. They're gonna praise, oh, Andre Ward. HBO's gonna be all over him. They're gonna praise him where they would not praise Floyd, you know. And what I see is this: Andre Ward is just another version of Floyd Mayweather at a higher weight class. You understand? He's in his right weight class for his size. Soon he's gonna move to 175, where his power is gonna go down, just like Floyd did when he started going up. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna happen about the same way. All right, it's gonna happen about the same way. His power's gonna go down because he won't be able to knock people out. But what's gonna happen is Andre Ward is gonna start using his brain, his skill, just like Floyd is. And soon enough, once he runs out of the top guys to fight, the popular top guys, he's not gonna have people to fight. He's gonna fight. People are gonna start calling him a duck. Or he's not fighting the top contenders, because soon enough he's gonna be fighting for money. He's not gonna be fighting because he's getting older. He's not gonna be fighting just everybody in one division or try to clean out divisions anymore. He's gonna find the top guy in a division, fight him, beat him, and find another division to do the same thing. And that's all he's gonna be doing to make the big paychecks. See, people have a long-term memory problem where they forget what happened before. You see, they're going to forget that Andre Ward beat Chad Dawson the way he did. They're going to forget that he won the Super 6. Okay? They're going to start calling him a duck. They're going to start calling him a chicken, a coward. They're going to start calling him all types of names. The only difference is that Andre Ward will probably get less criticism than Floyd Mayweather because of what I told you. Andre Ward is a mixed child. His appeal is gonna be better. They're gonna give him more love. HBO's gonna love him more. They're not gonna hate and bash on him like they did Floyd. Okay. Eventually, Andre Ward is gonna have to become a bad guy. Y'all remember I said this. He's gonna have to become a bad guy. Okay. If he doesn't become a bad guy, it's because the love that he's still getting from HBO and everybody else. That's the only way he won't become a bad guy. But if he doesn't get that love, he will have to become a bad guy. Alright? So, people, like I was saying before, we have a long-term memory problem. We forget what was done before. and totally dismiss all the accomplishments, all the time the person was being praised for what he had done. We only remember things that we want to remember because half the time we're looking for a reason to dislike someone, especially black people. We find a way to dislike our own. See, those type of things where, see, let's say Floyd was a white guy, right? The white community would not give a F. You know what I'm saying? They would not care. You know what? Screw that. I'm going to curse. They wouldn't give a fuck. They wouldn't give a fuck if Floyd Mayweather was beating his wife. Jim Lempley beats his women. Nobody gives a damn. White people don't care. They wouldn't give a fuck if he was burning money. They wouldn't give a fuck if he was doing everything that he's doing, talking all the smack he's talking. Okay? They'll just say that he's confident. He's a very confident fighter. You know? They will say that about him. And they would not give a damn what he was doing bad. They would still love Floyd. Oh, he's the best. They would only mention all the great things he did. They would only mention how great Floyd's legacy, all the people he beat, the way he beat them, the way how skilled he is. But not us, not the black community. You know what we do? We find a reason to hate on this man. That's just the way it is. That's just the way we are. We find a reason to hate on this man. Any little thing we can find. Oh, he's too arrogant. Oh, he's a hype job. Hype job. If he was a hype job, you would look at his record and you would only see people you don't even recognize. People who never had a belt. Who never made it to the possibility of having a belt. You understand? In order for you to have a belt in the sport, in any, or an award in any sporting event, you have to beat somebody. Alright? You have to beat someone. Okay? I'm not saying all champions are worthy. But if you have nothing but champions and top contenders in your list, then you have a pretty good list. Alright? People will call for it a hype job and totally dismiss all the fights he had. Like, you know how they'll dismiss the Corrales fight? Oh, Corrales is this, blah, blah. But Corrales went on to fight Castillo and put up fights of like greatest fights, some of the greatest fights I've seen to date. Alright? This is the type of fighter that Floyd was beating, man. You know what I'm saying? But people don't care about stuff like that. And I fear that the same will happen to Andre Ward, man. I fear 5 years down the line, I fear this will happen to Andre Ward. I fear it will happen. I fear they will forget. White media ain't gonna forget. They're gonna love Andre Ward because his daddy's white. They're gonna love him. They're gonna pump it up out there. But us, we're gonna call him a hype job. We're gonna do this. Oh, he bought. You know what they're gonna say about the Dawson fight? Oh, he made Charles Dawson come down 7 pounds and drained him. You know, I'm telling you, it is to come. It is to come. And I'm warning, I'm telling you right now, they're going to call him a hype job. They're going to do the same thing they're doing with Floyd Mayweather, man. They're going to do the same exact thing. Just remember, those of you who are praising him now, when you start turning just like you did with Floyd, when you start switching your talk, just remember what you were saying before. Remember that. But I'm sure you won't because you have a long-term memory problem. You do. But hopefully, man, it doesn't happen again. Because no matter what, he's still one of our own. Even though, you know, he's one of our own, man. So you gotta just look at his success, man. Look at his success. You know? Don't try to hate on him. Just look at his success. And two, remember this day. Remember last night. Remember the fight. Remember the things that he went through to get to where he's at. Alright? Do not forget. Alright? Andre Ward is, to me, another copy of Floyd Mayweather at a different weight class and a different time. You guys make your comments. Do whatever you gotta do. I'm out.